Hello, everybody, and happy Christmas Eve to you all. Welcome to JohnTries Whiskey Advent Calendar Series. It's Christmas Eve, and that means it's the 24th day of the calendar, the typical end of the calendar, and usually when I give some long-winded, insane speech. But not this time, because as you can see, there's actually 25 days on this calendar, which is unusual to say the least. And I say that because usually Advent is only 24 days. 25th day is obviously Christmas Day, but we're not done. We've got one extra one for a change, which is exciting to say the least. And boy, howdy, am I going to have fun with this one. Let's take her out and let's give it a try. And day 24, the penultimate day for the first time ever, our whiskey of the night is the Tomatin Pedro Jimenez single cask from 2001. This is a 21-year-old single malt scotch aged in Pedro Jimenez sherry casks. Tomatin, another Scottish distillery. I've had Tomatin before in a sampler size. I remember it being a particularly peppery varietal, but not one I was necessarily all that intrigued by. But who knows, maybe times have changed since then. It was like a stocking stuffer, I think. It was a small bottle. It wasn't this one, but it'll be interesting to see how this one compares. In the Pedro Jimenez sherry casks, it still maintains that peppery quality. The first look, obviously, that's a lot of barrel contact. Look how dark this number is. That is dark indeed. Almost brown in color, almost like a bourbon. Yep, that black peppery, almost dusty quality is back here. That's what I actually remember from Tomatin when I last had it. But those sherry notes are coming through very nicely. Sherry, some stone fruit, cherry, pepper, almonds. I think an interesting almost nuttiness to it too. But it is very fruit forward. It does have that sort of black pepper smokiness. The sherry does come through very nicely. You could tell it's really had a lot of cask contact. Sorry, I can't get the word out there. Cask contact, but it does maintain its notable single cask whiskey notes, and particularly the Scotch notes, which are important in a whiskey like this. All it's left to do now is taste it. Hmm. Well, that's interesting. The first hit I got was the taste of cream cheese. Yeah, a sort of sour, tangy Philadelphia cream cheese. And giving way to an almost syrupy note, almost syrupy like syrupy sweet, thick kind of viscosity with a little bit of light fruit, with very light bursts of cherry in there for a change. Almost like it's almost the best way I can describe it. It's almost like strawberry cheesecake with a peppery, balsamic afterbite that lingers on the tongue. And a smokiness from the Pedro Jimenez sherry cask lends it definitely lends a fruitiness, but also a cigar-like quality to the whiskey itself. It is very complex. It's very unique. It does remind me of the Tomatin I had years ago. That's solidly what I was kind of anticipating the peppery notes, and they do come through here. And they do come through, certainly. What I was not expecting was the smokiness, the syrupiness, the syrup-like viscosity, the cheesecake kind of vibes, and the strawberry cheesecake kind of vibes specifically. That fruitiness, dairiness, um, coming through that it doesn't quite envelop the tongue. It sort of sits there, sort of sits on the tongue, then you swallow it. It doesn't really wrap, it's not quite as velvety. And it's almost like an oil. It's almost like an oil. It's almost the way it sort of reacts. It's like it's oil that sits on water in a way. It sits on the tongue, doesn't get absorbed in the tongue, just sort of sits on there, hits your receptors, then you finish it. It's a very leggy, viscous kind of liquid. So it's such a gross way of putting it, but that's really kind of that's how I can really describe it. It does have that kind of taste to it. Again, this is the Tomatin Pedro Jimenez 21. It's 21-year old, bottled in 2022 from 2001. Pedro Jimenez single cask from Tomatin Distillery. It is a Scotch on a scale of 1 to 10. I'm gonna be, you know what, just for the sheer chutzpah, I'm gonna give this a 7.4 out of 10. No, actually, you know what? Scratch that. It's an 8.1 out of 10 because I actually really do enjoy this one. It's very fun to drink. It's got a sort of nice, pleasant balance of sweet and spice. It's the viscosity can get a little weird, but viscosity can get a little weird. But I'm used to it. And I think I like this a little bit more than the Tomatin that I had last time because this one has a bit more of a unique quality to it. That one just had straight pepper, and I wasn't terribly keen on that. I think it was a sherry cask. I'm not sure, but it definitely wasn't a Pedro Jimenez sherry cask. I know that much. I also don't even know how I got it or where I got it because I think it was like three a 3 drink sampler pack from way years ago at a liquor store that's now an auto body shop. So it's gone now. But yeah, I just remember not being terribly impressed by it, but I am impressed by this. Um Obviously Merry Christmas to everybody, but now this is the part of the show. No, I'm gonna have my whiskey, but this is the part of the show every year where I would go on to some cockamamie spiel, feel good Christmas, goody goody gumdrops speech. But I'm not this year. Why? Because if you were paying attention, there is a 25th box still to open. We are not done with this calendar yet. We still got a ways to go. And that means I will, for the first time, get to do my Christmas spiel on Christmas Day, no less. That's right, for the first time in 9 years, we are getting bonus content. And people say, did I sneak a peek? I deliberately did not. I went out of my way to make sure I didn't look at that box when I put it on camera. So, I don't know what it is. You don't know what it is. It's still going to be the pop surprise that we all know and love. And I will see you. You know, it's Christmas Day. I'll see you tomorrow morning. That's right. If there's one day a year you can drink before 12, it's Christmas. See you tomorrow morning, everybody. Have a good night, and happy Christmas Eve to you all.